This is Brian, screenfiles.com in review. What I'm looking at today is 2017's The Monster Proect, directed by Victor Nacho. And this is in the vein of a found footage movie. It's not, but it's built like it, which is to say it revolves around people using GoPros, people using night vision cameras, and it's assembled in such a way as found footage movies are similar. And it revolves around a group of people who decide to do this project where they interview a vampire, a demon, and a skinwalker. Now, this is an interesting idea, by the way, and this movie was, at least to some degree, financed by Kickstarter, as in people donating money towards its production. And considering that that's the case, this is a really good looking movie. It's not terribly cinematic looking. It looks good, but it doesn't quite look cinematic. But that being said, found footage movies often don't look very cinematic. It's in the DNA of the subgenre. It oftentimes looks very hastily put together, and this is no different. So, in any case, these people decide to interview these creatures, and everything goes as planned. No one seemingly believes that these entities are real, though they come to learn that there's more to the universe than they can possibly understand. It's, as I said, an interesting movie, and it works really well. They rent a house so that they can do it, and to no one's surprise, these creatures tend to be very real. And this is where the movie shines, because for a Kickstarter-funded movie, there's some very good practical effects in it. There are also some effects that look straight out of an Adobe program. But on the whole, there's some really good physical practical effects. Or at least they appear to be. And I'm particularly talking about the Skinwalker. He turns to this kind of werewolf-ish type creature. And it looks very practical. And the clever thing about the movie is that while the effect, I think, is practical, the way it's shot enhances it. Which is to say, it's like night vision, or it's typically very dark and underlit. So the creature looks shockingly good. And in fact, the Skinwalker in The Monster Proect is probably one of the best looking creatures I've seen in movies for quite a while. Especially, as I said, for it being a practical creation. It is very much there, but the lighting makes it harder to see. So therefore they can get away with things that if it were in, let's say, broad daylight, it probably wouldn't be able to do. But being that it's not the case, it works shockingly well. I have no idea of the budget of the Monster Proect, but for the money, it's been well spent. It looks really good. Though, the greatest problem with this movie is one of ambition. The story of trying to interview these three entities is enough of a movie, I think. Though what the Monster Proect does in the last 15 to 20 minutes throws another plot twist into the mix. And it doesn't ruin the movie, but it doesn't do the movie any favors either, because it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to tell you what it is, by the way, but let's just say there's a reason that a skinwalker and a vampire and a demon were being interviewed beyond the interview itself. There's more going on than you know. But now this is the problem. As I said, it's too ambitious. Cut that part, which I'm not going to tell you about once again. Cut it entirely. If you do a Monster Project 2, maybe use it, but don't use it here because it makes no sense in the context of the movie. And it's this tendency to overreach that makes the Monster Project less satisfying than it should be. Should you watch the Monster Project? I think you should. As I said, it's one of the better found footage type movies. I think you'll really enjoy it. But I don't know how anyone can come to not be let down by its ending. And once again, it's not that the ending is bad. It's that the ending is taking on way too much than the movie should. If it had wrapped up with some resolution to the scenario which gets you in the first place, namely the interview with the various entities, that would have been better. Instead, it tries to do too much, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but considering the fact that we're working with a movie with minimal resources, it doesn't work to its benefit. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow.